Once again, everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm going to be showing you my sketchbooks from 2016. I know this video is long overdue, but I wasn't around for the first part of 2017, so I thought I'd do it anyway since I always get asked if I'm going to do one or not. And so I have 4 sketchbooks to show you. 2 of them are like a little bit filled from 2016, and 2 of them are completely filled, and this includes my watercolor sketchbook and my Canson XL mixed media sketchbook that I've shown in a couple recent videos. So I'm just gonna do a quick flip through of these and show you guys what is in here. So I thought I would start with my little Mossery Co Sketchbook. This has hardly anything in it because it's so nice and pretty and I don't want to mess it up, so I don't use it because I'm one of those people. But I do have a few things in here that I want to share with you guys. There's like 4 things in here. I really like this sketchbook. The paper in it is really nice, but I'm just, you know, one of those people who's like, I don't want to ruin it because it's so pretty. And this was Flick Studio markers. This was just kind of a test to see how well the paper took these. It definitely does bleed, and you can see it kind of discoloring because I did this a long time ago, but they worked pretty well and it was pretty fun. So this is just another doodle that I meant to color and then never did. This is a little self-portrait of me that I did for my birthday and posted it over on my Instagram, which there is a link to down below if you want to check that out. And then there's a very light, I don't even know if you could see this, this is that illustration that I did for that failed gouache video from a couple weeks ago, and I was gonna do it in watercolor in here before I decided to try it again in gouache because, as I said, I did that twice. So there is a sketch in that, and that's done in silver pencil, and I'm gonna talk about that, as I said already once, in an upcoming video. And that's all that's in here because it's too nice and I don't want to ruin it. So the next one I'm going to talk about is this, and this is really big, so I had to zoom out a little bit, and sorry about my light. My lights are right here and they're reflective because this is a really glossy cover. But this is a Erin Condren notebook, just like the one I showed in my 2015 sketchbook video, but this one is really big. If you guys watched that old video, you'll remember me saying how I wished that Erin Condren would come out with a blank notebook that could be used as a sketchbook. Well, they did. This one has dotted pages in it, but it works really well as a sketchbook, so I was super excited when this came out. I was like, yes, I don't have to make my own anymore. But yeah, so this is basically the big 8.5 by 11 Erin Condren sketchbook with the dotted pages in it, and I just use it as a sketchbook. This one's not quite full because I found the size to be really big. It's hard to carry around a sketchbook that's this size. Like, this is my little leuchtturm that I showed in another video, and it's way bigger. So, a little hard to carry this around, but I do still really like it and use it from time to time when I'm at home. So this sketch right here is actually a redrawing of this. Do you guys remember this from 100 million years ago? I decided to redraw it last year and post a video, which I never posted and still have it, but here's the colored version of the new sketch. And yeah, this is my portfolio, by the way. My illustration portfolio, and it is filled up. So if you guys want to see this in a video, I would be more than happy to share this with you guys because there's lots of stuff in here that's kind of fun. Most of it is stuff that you guys have seen, but it might be kind of fun to flip through and look at all the old weird stuff that I drew in the past, so yeah. But yeah, this is a redrawing of that illustration. I also have some colored versions here. These are test prints for my Etsy store because, as I said, I'm doing all the printing myself. So these are some colored test prints of this, and I like the way it looks printed, which is pretty cool, so yay! Alright, so we're gonna flip through here really quick. Here's some drawings of Danielle from Ever After. These are on my Instagram page. I love the way that this one turned out. I just love the face, so. I missed a page. It's okay, because it doesn't have anything cool on it. And if you've seen my sketchbook videos before, you know that I just put ideas down. I don't really color or anything. I have a sketchbook that has a lot of coloring in it, but this one and most of my sketchbooks are just for getting ideas down and sketching and stuff. I really like this one and want to make a video of this one. Moana. Yeah, there's hardly anything in this sketchbook because it's too big. I really like this. I actually did this quite recently, so this is not from 2016. This is from 2017, but it's in here, so whatever. And that's all that's in here. But yeah, I need to fill this, and I'm sure I will someday, but moving on to the last two, I'm going to save the watercolor sketchbook till the very end, because this might not be everyone's cup of tea. There's lots of experimental painting and like watercolor swatches in there, but it has one of my favorite things I've ever painted, so I am going to leave this one till last because it's less sketches and more like painting and color testing. So this is my Canson XL Mixed Media Sketchbook. I've done a few videos in this sketchbook, so you will see some familiar things from my channel, like this. This is the first page in my sketchbook, and I posted this video a couple weeks ago, and you can see the pretty gold paint. I just love the way that gold from the Fine Tech pigments look. Some ballpoint pen doodles. I really want to get better at drawing in pen, but it's hard. This is the sketch from the video I did with the chameleon markers 2 weeks ago, I think it was. And I really like the way this one looked out. I really like the sketch. I always like my sketches more than anything I ever finish. And I do have some pages in here that are blocked off because they have like work for other people on it and like from commissions and things like that, so I can't show that to you guys because you know how it is. This is right after I saw Moana for the first time because I didn't see it till super late, so I was trying to figure out how to draw her. So there's lots of Moana and there's lots of Ellie from The Last of Us because that was when The Last of Us 2 trailer came out, so be prepared for like 30 pages of Ellie, you know. Here's that original sketch that I showed you for that failed gouache video. Can I keep it like this? Yeah, that should be okay. This was around, I think this was kind of getting towards May for Mermaid. And yeah. Some of these were probably from 2016, but I didn't really keep track because I don't draw in or like page order. I just kind of open up a page and start coloring. So some of these may be from 2016, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. This one's from my last Copic illustration, and I really liked that sketch. So here we are to the Ellie pages, so I'm just gonna flip through these really quickly because I couldn't figure out how to draw her in my style, and I'm still trying to figure out how to draw her in my style. So we're just gonna go past that. And this is when I first started using Copics in my sketchbook. Just a few, and I've shown the colors in my what's in my pencil case video, so you guys can go check that out. There will be a link somewhere on the screen so you can look at that. And this is when I first started using that color palette that I talked about in that video in my sketchbook. I'm pretty sure these are from this year, but I don't care, because, you know, I want to show them. This is from my Meet the Artist tag little drawing over on Instagram. I had a lot of fun doing this. Is basically you're supposed to draw yourself and put some likes and dislikes and then your favorite colors and like your bag and all the goodies in it. So that's what I did for this, and this was a lot of fun. I wish that I had filmed this when I did it, but I didn't. And I'm sad that I didn't. Girl with cat and cat butt. I don't know why. And here's some color testing. These are the Jane Davenport mermaid markers that I bought at Michael's, and the best thing about these is they don't bleed at all, which is nice because they're super pigmented. And I want to do a video using these, but I just haven't quite got around to that yet. This is my Moana sketch that, here's the concept stuff for it. I have a video filmed of this, but I don't like the way it turned out. It's right here, and I don't like the way it turned out, but I'm gonna refilm it and make it into a video soon. This was me messing around with pastels and it has rubbed off. These are definitely from 2016, but that's fine. Here's some gouache. These are from Mermaid this year, but this was the first time I really painted in gouache, and I quite liked how this turned out, and I wish I'd filmed it, but I didn't. This was a video though. This was my first gouache video on my channel earlier this year, and I will leave a link to this somewhere on the screen as well. This little painting I did with those mermaid markers that I just talked about, and I think I did film this. This was just a quick little doodle, but if you guys want to see it, I can edit it together and make it like a midweek video or something if you're interested in seeing it. These next couple pages are some of my favorite sketches I've done all year, and I want to color every single one of them, especially this one and this one. These were for Mermaid over on my Instagram. Except for this was not from Mermaid, but this was really recently. So, I don't know, I just really liked how these came out. Swatches of my Art and Fly markers, which do bleed, just FYI. This is another mermaid, and I did not like what half of her face looked like, so I used a Post-it and tried to fix it. I still am not happy with how it looked, but that's what I like to do. If I mess up on something and I can't fix it, I'll cover it and try to fix it that way. Another mermaid. This was the sketch from my Mijello Mission White class gouache / watercolor video. There will be a link somewhere, whatever. The sketch and the final painting don't look anything like each other, which I always find really fascinating because I really like how the sketch came out. I also really like how the colored piece came out, but they don't look very similar, which is kind of interesting. Nothing. This is acrylic paint. It's like a blue-green iridescent, really cool paint. Another Post-it. More doodles. More Ellie. Jeez. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you see anything in any of these sketchbooks that you want me to color, you can leave me a request down below and I can see what I can do about that. Because I always like to hear what you guys want to see be colored. More Ellie. And I think this is the last page, when I discovered that I really liked lavender pencil, and I just love the way it looks so cool. But yeah, that is the last page in this sketchbook, so now I'm going to go on to my watercolor sketchbook. Alright, so this is my watercolor sketchbook. This is a Stillman and Birn Alpha series sketchbook. I really liked the shape of this, and I hold it closed with a rubber band because it's kind of popping open because it has a lot of paint in it. But this is a like wet media sketchbook. It's made for like light wash, but I used it more like heavy wash for watercolors, but it worked just fine for that. And I quite like this sketchbook. I like this brand, the Stillman and Birn sketchbooks, a lot. They work really well for watercolor and gouache and stuff. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna flip through this. This was when I first started kind of really learning how to do watercolor, and I was trying to paint every day. And I painted every day for a good probably month and a half before I kind of fell out of it, but I was pretty happy with that for me. This is a painting of my planner, and I was just kind of painting like just whatever I wanted. Just things that were like on my desk or out my window. Flowers, just kind of figuring out how to use the like medium that I was using because I was really learning how to do watercolors, but it was a lot of fun. I really like this still. I was learning my colors and stuff like that. This is for National Donut Day, so I painted a donut. This is a train station that's by my house. And the pages in here are really thick, so they hold up to watercolor really well. Trying to figure out how to paint clouds, but this paper doesn't really lift very well, so painting clouds was kind of hard. But there's another attempt, and that's not terrible. This is also when I was trying to figure out how to set up my watercolor palette, which is this. I know people have wanted to see a video on this, and I can film one if you guys are still interested, so let me know down below. But this was when I was kind of figuring out what colors I wanted to put in this, because this is the one that I take with me everywhere, and as you can see, like, I've used quite a lot. Like, this one is almost completely empty. You can stick your finger right on in there. But yeah, this is my like self-made watercolor palette, and there's a lot of swatching and stuff in this sketchbook for that palette. And then there's paintings of things as well. Trying to figure out how to paint space. It's okay, it's not the best. These two paintings are from Multnomah Falls, which is right by my house, so everybody knows Multnomah Falls even if you're not from Oregon. It has that big bridge over it, and it's really cool to go see. And I'm about a 15-minute drive from there, so it's really close and a fun place to go paint, so I like it. More color swatching for my watercolor palette. These are some color tests. I got some Daniel Smith paint that has like multicolors in it, and I was just kind of testing out to see how it looks, and I just really like the texture and the way these two paintings came out. This is a no, and it says that. And this was an ink test because I was looking for a waterproof black ink to use with my watercolors so that it didn't smear, and then I could just put it in like a fountain pen and take it out with me. And this is the first of several or many landscape paintings that I did in this sketchbook, just to kind of figure out how I like to paint, and I figured out how to use the ink and the watercolor together, but there's a lot of these in there. Some sunflowers. And then some more color testing. More color testing and lots of notes. And this is my favorite thing I've ever painted. One of my favorite movies is Kiki's Delivery Service, and I really just wanted to do a really cute, sweet little painting, and this is what I ended up doing. And I just really like how this looks. I really want to scan it in and take this out and print it out so I can have a print of it. I just like it so much, and it makes me happy. So yeah. More landscapes. More landscapes. Some are not as good as others, and that's okay because it's a sketchbook. This is done with real like graphite watercolor from Greenleaf and Blueberry, and it comes off because it's actually graphite, even though it's like made into watercolor. So it's pretty interesting, but it kind of rubs off on everything. These sketches are from when I was in Alaska last summer. So this is the Denali National Park outlook. So there's quite a few in here from when I was there. Like, my sister went with me and we drove to Denali from where we were staying, and we would pull off to the side of the road at overlooks and stuff, and I would paint for 5 minutes. So that's what a lot of these are. Like, this was a stop. It says Denali National Park Overlook number 2. So that means we just kind of pulled off to the side, and I painted for 5 minutes, and then we moved on. And it was really fun. I did these. We took a train from Anchorage to Whittier, and I painted while we were in the train because it was a couple, I think it was like a 2-hour train ride to and from. Yeah, so I was painting because we went on a cruise, and then these paintings were done while we were on the cruise because I like to paint instead of take photos. Like, I took a lot of photos, but I also like to paint. So that's what I was doing with these, and it's just kind of something fun to do. And this is the last one from Alaska. A failed painting of Mount Hood from Trillium Lake, which I try again later and is not as bad. Cannon Beach out in Oregon, because I live in Oregon. I don't know if you guys know that, but I live outside of Portland, is what I'm gonna say. So there's Trillium Lake again. More color swatches, more color swatches. Stuff from Inktober, and then this sketch I really like. I actually have painted this and have a video for it, and we'll post it eventually because I really like how it came out. October. More sketches. Another sketch that I really like how it came out. And then some more doodles. Some more creepy cat. I love painting my watercolor palette, and that's this. I just think it's a really fun little exercise to do. Swatches, Ellie, Can't Escape, Ellie Forever, Failed Trees, more swatches. These are my swatches of my Eco line watercolors, so you can see how beautiful and vibrant they are. Almost done with this. Nothing. More color swatches. I think the rest of this, except for one page, is color swatches. This was I watched the Frugal Crafter paint this, and I kind of followed along with her as just like a fun little thing to do, and I think it came out pretty well. So it's always fun to paint along with people. More swatches, and more swatches, and more swatches, because that's all that's in here. These are my Mission White, or Mission Gold class watercolors, and these are as well. Like, you can see how beautiful and bright and pigmented they are. And that is the last bit of this sketchbook. Alright guys, so those are my sketchbooks from 2016 and a little bit of 2017, just, you know, cause. But if you saw anything that you'd like to see put into an actual video, you can leave me a comment down below. And please give my video a like, it really helps to support my channel a lot, and subscribe if you are not already, and I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye!